Fearless 2 was a flop. It underperformed in several ways, creating a forgettable album that slowly disappeared into the obscurity of people's minds. While there are still several listeners of the album, myself included, most only listen to a few specific songs, and many would consider most of the songs either forgettable or sadly bad. But amongst all these uninteresting songs is a song I would argue is one of Josh A's best works, this song being Warfare. So, what makes this song so amazing? Why would I say that this song is the best in the album and one of the best across all of his music? That is the goal of this essay, but before we speak of the song, a little context. Fearless 2 begins with the intro song, Long Way to Go, a song about Josh A's dreams of becoming a rapper and how he achieves them, but his desires to become Crater continue to grow. That's why Josh states he still has a long way to go. The constant desire to be something so much more than what he already is continues to grow alongside his success. Josh is much more confident now with his new abilities, and with the fearless Josh joining him on this journey, the two of them express a confidence in their rapping capabilities that seems to bleed into their music. Then, at the end of Ghost, fearless Josh tells current Josh that the first to track down is the You're Not Alone Josh. This is what leads us into Warfare. With Warfare opening up with
They try to hate what I'm doing, but I know that's chatter. Call me corny or cringe, yeah, like that matters. They just let the hate comment and my bag's fatter.
With these lines, we can see that Josh seems to ignore all the criticism he receives and continues to focus on himself and the money he's making. He continues to stop by stating,
I just drop a new video, leave them all tattered. I'm more known in your city than you, I bet that hurts. Tower over everyone, I'm coming up the ladder.
These lines, alongside the next one, seem to continue to convey the same thoughts that led us through Vengeance and Ghost, but there's something different. Throughout these verses, you can hear a faint clicking slash tapping sound as if it's kind down to something. With every line, another melody comes together and grows in volume until suddenly the beat switches, with the climactic lyrics singing.
Kinda sad, all these rappers getting mad cause I focus on my craft and I had to overlap every one of you.
These lyrics are clear pieces of evidence for what we already know Josh is discussing. This is the fearless side of Josh, the part of him that felt all this confidence in his abilities and thought he knew everything there was to know. With Fearless's success, Josh was at an all-time high in terms of spirit, and the beginning portion of this song proves these facts. But yet, this is not the part of the song everyone thinks about when discussing Warfare. Or at least this is not what I think about. As stated by Fearless Josh at the end of Ghost,
The first Josh on the list that we have to get is that You're Not Alone Josh. This one's gonna be kind of difficult. He's just obsessed with proving himself.
Warfare being the song directly after the skit is about the You're Not Alone Josh, not the Fearless Josh. And so, once we come to that revelation, all the melodies dissipate until all you are left with is the faint sound of thunder and the slight tapping of rain, setting the mood for the true meaning of not only these lyrics, but the song as a whole and who Josh was as a person during this period. By saying,
You finally getting money, but your soul isn't filled enough, like we get it. You perfected the vision, you quit your job, man, you did it. You finally made something for yourself.
he shows the true thoughts running through his brain. While the fearless Josh was flexing his success and believing he was an amazing rapper, the current Josh was looking back on this side of him. Instead of sounding genuine when singing these lyrics, he sounds almost sarcastic. But that's because in the next line he reveals something to us we never knew about through this album.
But I know you're not painless, you getting fame, but you hate it. You feel commodified, but you've been way too scared to just face it. So you just run around parading, but you help but degrade it. You talking about how you the greatest, but inside you be caving, cause you don't know who you are anymore.
As I've said in other essays, it's tragic. Despite the growing success and fame, Josh still suffers with depression and anxiety, and no matter what he does, it still plagues him. These verses perfectly encapsulate the topics discussed in You're Not Alone. The constant need to be better while feeling the effects of a decaying mental state continues to be a topic in his music, even after all this time since the album's release. And when the next line discusses his inner thoughts getting in the door, we are greeted by a record label. This record label showers Josh with praise while at the same time flooding him with expectations and reasons to change his music.
Forget about your mental health, we think it's time to perform. Forget about your self-esteem, just get in front of the camera.
These are vivid thoughts he has on the record labels as a whole, and when he slams the door, the character yells,
"Oh, come on, man, I thought you wanted to be famous."
a misconception so many people seem to have about Josh, but that misconception is also shared by him.
Get the warfare, this a war in your mental.
Is the line immediately after this conversation, revealing the inner battles Josh has. The constant desires to be something grander, fighting the desires to let it all go. This constant battle continues to frustrate him, his voice growing more intense with every word while the melody maintains its slow rhythm, the lone guitar playing in the background of everything. With this conversation, he continues to remind the Josh from the beginning of the song what he's doing this all for.
Your last album went pop, but that wasn't really you. The point of what you're doing is just talking to the youth, helping fans with their depression to escape for just a second. Maybe they take in the message and then put away the weapon.
These lyrics are beautiful. It's the thoughts that Josh continued to have after releasing Fearless, the success gained to him, and parts of him trying to remind him of the reasons he was doing this in the first place. As much as I love this part of Warfare, and it being the main reason I listen to this song, you can't have this part without the other. It's only upon seeing how Josh feels and acts now that he's achieved almost everything that you start to understand his lyrics. Continuing this thought, Josh states,
Just think about it, reassess the motive. This ain't crowd, this isn't showbiz, this is musical healing. Embrace the pain, let them feel it, and wear your heart in your sleeve. Let the flaws be seen.
By demanding that Josh reassess his motive, he expresses what his dreams once were and tries to convince him to return to the way things were. But he continues by rapping,
Don't worry about all the green, cause deep down I know you died for all this. Cause you were born out of the pain. You were trying to exist, but you barely maintained. Being chained to your depression, only thing that brought change.
These lyrics continue to show us the true motives for doing everything. He wants to bring everyone together through pain and try to heal others so that they don't have to deal with it alone. These lyrics continue to show us why he even bothers to do all of this. All of the songs, the lyrics, melodies, it was all to try and help others heal. Similar to how in You're Not Alone, Josh was trying to convince everyone that they were not alone with their pain. Warfare shows us the side of Josh that continues to try and heal everyone. Until the very last second, Josh is expressing his desires to save everyone, including himself, from the traumas and cruelties of the world, and that's why this song is so beautiful. Unlike most of Fearless 2, Warfare gives us a story within an overarching story. It's not only about Josh's success or Josh fighting off Lil Revive again, but it's about Josh looking at himself and making a change. It's the lone guitar mixed with a beat that continues to convey to us the struggles of Josh's mental state, and it shows us sides of Josh we haven't seen in the album thus far. From this point on, the album grows darker in tone, discussing the reasons Josh was making the music and the different issues he was suffering with. But to me, none left as heavy in an impact as the verses in Warfare. The melody, the voice, the lyrics, all combining to make one of Josh's greatest verses across his music. A true piece of self-reflection leading up to the end, where he tells himself to fix it. These are the reasons this song is so good, and the best song on Fearless 2.